This is Cutting Down the Nets Monday, February 20th. Tiny schedule today. A few good games, bunch of bad games. But I am your recent efficiency guy that will tell you what the projection looks like using only the last, 6 to 15 games without giving away too many details. So for the year, we're grinded. We're surging a little bit. Nothing to be proud of compared to last season, but I've mentioned the toss-up. Luck is no bueno this year. So we start off the top of this with 11.2 points of value. Why? Because Coppin State is playing. They gave us 11.7 points of value, I think, over the weekend. They did not cover. But essentially, the reason this projection is so high is Norfolk State is slightly better than your average team, and Coppin State, in terms of recent play, is really, really bad. But shot quality has this closer to what the line is. The line actually came in lighter than Torvik and KenPom, so I think it grows, but can certainly see the hesitation in backing a Norfolk State team, especially like Coppin State has Sam Sessoms on the team. He's played at Penn State. He's fine. He's okay. But let's look at this matchup. Let's dig in a little bit here. So this is the Coppin State team page, which you see all that red. That's pretty scary stuff. But this matchup, I don't know. It's okay. Both teams don't protect the ball. They both force turnovers top half. So, this is pretty neutral here. Big offensive rebound advantage as Coppin State is probably the worst combination of OR and DR rebounding team in terms of these analytics that I've seen. I think this stands out, the 2-point offense versus 2-point defense there. But look, plenty of risk laying 2 touchdowns with Norfolk State. I'll say that. So will I go there? I don't know. I mean, for the brand, you kind of gotta. So next up, Howard, Morgan State. So let's look at that matchup. I got that one pulled up. We'll look at that one too. All right, so here's Howard. So here's kind of the problems with backing Howard here. We have a lot of green under the 3-point after a lot of red for 3-point offense. So when not making threes, this is not a good team. High 90s at best for adjusted efficiency. As they've started to not miss 3-pointers, looks a lot better. So defensively, okay. Nothing really stands out there. They can force a tremendous amount of turnovers. So got that going for you. How are they achieving the 3-point shooting? These aren't high volume shooters here. 92 shots through 27 games. Not too many threes per game. 76. Talking about 4 shots a game or whatever. If I look up at each of these shooters, now Dockery is a freshman. I don't know anything about Howard, but if you look at is this player shooting far better than the previous year? The answer is yes. So I would expect some regression to come. So it's kind of shaky. Here's Morgan State. They have not shot the ball well of late, but were shooting it well early on. They've run a little good with 3-point defense. Here's the actual matchup. These teams are bottom 20, both of them, in protecting the ball, and both very good at turning the other team over. So sloppy game. Going to be a lot of turnovers. I'd give the rebound edge to Howard here more because Morgan State's a poor defensive rebounding team. Likely a few free throw opportunity edge for Howard. So they're going to get some extra opportunities. So look, I bet it mainly because the recent shot quality has this closer to 12 because Morgan State keeps dipping down, but I do think Howard's running hot. My hope here is that, look, maybe this should be 7 and there's still value without it being 8 to 10. So that's why I played it. Look, there aren't many games on the schedule. I'm fine with it. Hawaii, Cal State, Bakersfield is next. Recent play has Hawaii winning by less than possession. Same with shot quality. We're getting 2.5 possessions for home Bakersfield here. Now, why are we getting 2.5 possessions? Well, Bakersfield isn't very good. I mean, that's the first one. But let's look at a couple data points there to kind of figure out that matchup. So here is my problem with Bakersfield. Right here. Just jump right to it. 46.9% of their shots are further twos. So they're settling or committed to very, very, very bad shots. And it's not like a UCLA where it's like, yeah, that's where they live and they're good at it. I mean, Bakersfield isn't particularly good at it. They just spend a lot of time there. So I don't love that. Look at this pace though. I mean, this is going to be a really slow game. So I think that kind of helps a bit too when you have a grinder. These records, 19-8 versus 10-16, I'll touch on in just a minute. Because it's like, wow, the 19-8 team, really gonna, back the underdog there. These teams did play. Hawaii won by 3 at home on the island. Let's look at shot quality here. This is the team standings current. And I'll point out Hawaii, who is 18-8 for their D1 record. Shot quality has them at 13-13. So if you had a 13-13 team playing against, CS Bakersfield, I don't think you'd bat an eye, getting 6.5. So I just think this is closer than what people may think on the surface, and that's why I'm fine there. But I am curious if I could get a few more points. Not likely, since KenPom is 5, Torvik's 4, that this probably comes down, but it's hard to just jump on Cal State Bakersfield under any circumstances. So, yeah. Cal State Fullerton, UC Santa Barbara. So this median number at 4 is pretty close to 5.5, which the spread is. I know UCSB has been shorthanded lately, so yeah, I think it's okay, but I'm trying to talk myself out of it. So yeah, that's kind of where I sit on that one. I'm just not backing Mississippi Valley State. Like, I know it's a short schedule, but I'm not gonna go there. Every man has its limits, and I play some stinky teams. Okie State, West Virginia. I feel like I've played 10 straight Big 12 road dogs getting between 5 and 7 points, and everyone loses by 11 to 14 points. So, I don't know. Data likes it. I mean, West Virginia by about a possession, but this is thinner compared to some of the others. I mean, shot quality is that 4 to 5 range. This is 5.5. I think there's some value there. But, yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. I'm going to jump down to the bottom here and talk through this Kansas TCU game. So let's hop over to TCU's profile. The Paddy number that I am using, which will be pulling mainly from the bottom half of this page, has TCU with a 115 offense and a 95.3 defense. If you, in that data set, removed the games that Miles and Lampkin were not playing, that goes to a 117 and an 89.7 defense. So it's a pretty big swing. It's like moving it from like a point and a half to like 6. Are those players together worth that many points? Probably close would be my guess. But I want to point out that in some of the games that they played, they were also running real pure, over here, with 3-point defense. So, yeah, I think they have a good defense. It's obviously better with Lampkin and Miles in the game, but I think TCU as a whole was running a little hot with 3-point defense. So I put in my notes basically like, look, Paddy's at like, I don't know, TCU favored by like a point or so. This goes to TCU -6 if you filter all that out. Now you're dealing with small sample sizes, and like I said, they're kind of getting some luck there on their side. But overall, I think maybe 4 is a pretty fair number. So if it's going to be 1.5, I do think there's some value on TCU side. So I'm just gonna take a look at it. I don't know. Doesn't look like I'll be pressing too much on a Monday. So Howard -3.5. I played it. I'll deal with it. I certainly see the risk with it, but I'd rather be on that side than the other side. I am considering Norfolk State for the brand. I like Cal State Bakersfield. I'm scared of Okie State. and I'm interested in TCU. So kind of see how that all shakes out. Best of luck to everybody, and we'll see you Tuesday for Cutting Down the Nets.